And I think that there may be, government might want to offer statements that show deterioration of the marriage, which I would object to.
Ms. Beatty.
I'll take the argument that the defendant is not offering a self-defense defense and is not going to be requesting a self-defense instruction, and therefore the Commonwealth agrees that we are not permitted to put in evidence of the victim's fear of the defendant. That's a different line of cases, however, than what we cited, primarily on pages 3 and 4 of our filing, when we're talking about evidence of the victim's state of mind as proof of the defendant's motive to kill. And here in this case, what we have is the victim and the defendant having had some difficulties in their relationship such that there were ongoing probate actions, there was a restraining order, the defendant had moved out of state, and then they chose to reconcile. And throughout that time period, the alleged victim articulated to third parties that she was uncertain about what to do, that she wasn't sure if she wanted to stay in her marriage. There were times where she did want to remain married to the defendant. There were times that she was hopeful that the marriage would work out and they would continue to be able to live happily together, that she very much wanted her children to remain in the Dover public schools, that she was concerned about their needs, about moving them out of that school system, out of that house. And she shared her feelings about the pros and the cons of reconciling with the defendant. And that was an ongoing issue up until the time of the murder. The defendant talks about it in his statement to the police, so that's coming in. And I don't think that the parties have any disagreement about that. What we're talking about is not just his statements about what she was thinking, and he articulates his perspective on his statements in his perspective on her feelings about the marriage, but also other people providing testimony to the jury about her statements and about why the defendant would have killed her when she wasn't going to continue on in the marriage. And there's a whole line of cases that the Commonwealth has cited where the SJC has said that this is proper evidence. We will not introduce, and we have been clear with witnesses about not referring to her fear. That's not what we're talking about. And so, as such, I would ask that the court allow the Commonwealth's motion in limine.
Okay. All right, let me look at it again, and I'll take it under advisement one more time.
But I apologize, Your Honor, could I also just very briefly note that when counsel was arguing that she wanted the marriage to work out, Your Honor is well aware that part of the evidence is that there was discussion that she wanted to be put on the deed. She wanted him to sign the post-nup agreement. And as counsel indicates that her children like the Dover schools. Yeah, they should like the Dover schools because they went from this little stinky little house in Sudbury and ended up moving into this $2 or $3 million house with the pool and with the backyard and with the waterfalls and the gym and the movie theater and everything else, get him thrown out, and the kids are able to be in this house and go to great schools as they are in Dover. So I don't know what the relevance of that concern is, because I should, as I've pointed out to the court and to the government, while she's ostensibly trying to reconcile and trying to work on her marriage, she's online, as Your Honor is well aware, dating websites, pictures, men working out on their exercise equipment, sending half-naked pictures of themselves to her. She's sending naked pictures of herself to other people. She had no legitimate intention of reconciling with him. She wanted on the deed and the money. That's it.
Do you want to add anything?
No, thank you.
Okay. All right. All right. Anything else?
No, Judge.
In terms of other motions or on that point?
Motions.
Okay. I would ask to be heard on the Commonwealth's motion for a view at sidebar.
Okay.
Would you allow Your Honor, as we talked about, to approach sidebar?
He's welcome if he wants to come up.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.